Hip separation in golf downswing. Do you want to know what the biggest difference between pro golfers and amateur golfers is? Stick around, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Hey, it's Troy from hittingitsolid.com here. So what is the difference that the pros do compared to the amateurs that make them so much better and able to hit the ball so much more consistent? Well, in this video, and I touched on it in the intro, I'm going to be talking about the ability that they have to separate their hips from their shoulders in the golf downswing. And this is what makes them so consistent and able to hit the ball so much better and play at a much higher level. And it's all got to do with this starting movement and this downswing, which I'm going to go into a bit of detail, show you a really simple drill to help you play better golf. Let's get started. Okay, let's talk about this hip separation, the golf downswing, and why it is such a pro move and something that you should look at bringing into your own game. So first I want to touch on what it is most golfers do that gets them into trouble and why they're not able to do this move. And there's a few different reasons, and I guess the first thing I'll show you what most golfers do. This might be something that you can relate to. Typically with most golfers, they might make a decent backswing, but in their downswing, this is such a key, and I've spoken about this on the channel before. In their downswing is the hips and the upper body, holding the club obviously. Everything moves together. You can see there, together. I'll show you this from down the line and explain what I mean. If I go to the top, you can see that everything moves together. Now when you do this, and everything moves together in this downswing, it makes the job of shallowing the club and the downswing to get it on a decent plane much more difficult. What I mean by that is, if everything moves together, you'll see that the club wants to come out. It wants to come out and an over-the-top type move. Like, you can get around this, but you need to do a lot of manipulation with your hands and arms to get it to shallow. You need to do something like, sort of like this, dropping the club back in to get it on a decent path. Now, ideally what we want to see happen, this is what the pros do, when they go to the top, their hips, they move first. You can see there, hips move first, then the hands and arms are able to easily drop. Hips move, hands and arms are able to drop that much easier, get on plane and play more consistent golf. And this all ties in with having more rotation in your golf swing. The pros rotate on an arc, and that's something that we should be aiming for. The golf swing is swung around an arc, so we swing around and around, and from this angle here, so we swing on an arc, round, round and around. Where a lot of golfers go wrong is they might start their swing off in an arc, but on the downswing, because everything moves together, they have to flip their hands to make any sort of decent contact with the golf ball. But if you're swinging on an arc and those hips move first, enabling the club to come more inside and around, you don't need to use so much hand manipulation or compensations to hit the golf ball well. And one of the biggest problems I think golfers get into is with early extension, which causes you to that need to flip your hands. And I've spoken about this at length on the channel. I'll pop a link up above with a really simple drill that deals with early extension. For the purpose of this video, if you're someone that lifts up on the downswing, you have no choice but to flip your hands. And when you do that, it's really difficult to get that hip separation in the downswing when you're early extending. If you're lifting up like this, it's really difficult to get that hip separation that you need. So I'm going to show you a really simple exercise or drill you can practice at home that's going to embed this into your game so you can play much better golf. Let's get into it. Okay, let's go through a really simple exercise you can practice at home to get this hip separation in the golf downswing a big part of your game. So all you need first of all is a club. Obviously we need that. Grab yourself an alignment stick. If you don't have one of these, you can normally find like a piece of wood, something really thin. You want something that you can go through a belt. So what we're going to do, we're just going to find those little slots in the belt there, and we're going to pop the alignment stick through that on one side, through on the other side, and we're just going to have it nice and level. Now what we're going to do, I've spoken about the need for those hips to work independently at the start of the downswing as such a key move. Now this will give you a really good visual of what I'm talking about. So if you grab your club, put it across your chest. Now this is typically what most golfers do. They go back and they turn through. So it looks innocent enough, but what's happening is everything's moving together. There's no separation. No separation between the hips and the upper body. Now from this angle, everything moves the same, but the problem with that is, as I explained earlier, if I make a swing, if everything moves together, it just makes this club and this upper body automatically wants to come out wider, unless I do some sort of manipulation with my body. But if I want to stay in posture, even if I stay in posture, it is just so much more difficult to get your club on a decent shallowing plane on the downswing if your upper body and your lower body move together. So what we want to do, we want to practice, put this across your chest. We want this lower body to move independently at the start of the downswing. So this is what it'll look like. So we go back, we want that lower body to go. Now you can see here my lower body is the same, it's moved, but my upper body is still relatively close, pointing out there. So what you can do is practice going back and turn. It's that little movement with the hips. This is all triggered by your core. And what you're going to do, get those hips and that core working. I'll show you from this angle. And if you can get really good at this, this is going to help your downswing and get some amazing results. Backswing. You can see there my shoulders aren't doing much, but my core is moving that alignment stick. If you can do that, you can practice this. Golf swing. Look at that room I've got to come down and through to make contact with the golf ball. This really simple drill you can practice at home will really help you get that hip separation in the golf downswing. So you can hit a lot more golf shots right off the middle because you're coming down on a great plane. It's going to really help out your golf scores. Drop a comment down below if you've tried this drill to get hip separation in the golf downswing. Maybe you've tried another drill that's worked really well to get your downswing started right. Drop a comment down below or ask any questions about this, and I will reply to every single comment. There you have it. Now you know how to get hip separation in the golf downswing and take your game to a higher level. Now, very important, before you go, right above here I have a couple of additional videos that talk about the golf swing, in particular downswing and shallowing it out, that I know will really help you out. Make sure you check those out. They really tie in with this video. Now, below this video I'll have a link to my free 3 secret moves video, 100% free. Make sure you click on that link below, get a hold of that. There'll be another link to some additional golf instruction that I know will really help your golf game out. Make sure you check that out. Thanks again so much for watching. Any questions or comments, pop them down below. I'll reply to every single one of you. Thanks again. See you next time.